Well, I asked earlier on how important was spirituality, but I realized that the questions or the comments that the brothers made dealing with spirituality. Now, you're saying something about our languages earlier. It's true based on the colonial powers that we live under. The language play a part and are separating us from reality, from one another, from ourselves. My act, or the laws of my act, based in spirituality. And as an African people, we can't do anything. We understand spirit more than anybody else. But based on colonialism, the different teachings, we've been separated. So right in this surrounding, we have Africans who adopt Christianity, the same Muslim religion, all the different things. And because of the acknowledgement of spirit within, we go with these things even more so than the people that created them, to the detriment of Africa, to your own self. We don't understand our divinity. We don't understand the oneness with the Creator, with all life. When we go back, we have to go back, as the old saying, go keep your foot on the ground and reach for the stars. It's just like, what they call a metaphor. You keep your foot base or your foundation is the spirit, and you reach up for all the other stuff. The music is part of the expression, the dance, the everything. But all of this was based in the spiritual concepts. The teachings long ago, everything was based in spirit. Like in the ancient priesthood, as a priest, you go through the so-called priesthood training, but you will learn music, the arts, the sciences. But again, the foundation is the spirituality. We don't have that to do. We more or less go along with the other teachings of understanding spirit from this low level and see spirit as something away from you. Now, something interesting happening here listening to you, that all what we're talking about, it's surrounding the same idea or the same issue dealing with spirituality. So, the resurgence of African people is taking place to me right now in a fast scale. But unless we could get the foundation fixed, we're going to be like even the high and low in the 60s and 70s when the African consciousness rise, but then it faded away because it wasn't spiritually based. Now we're rising in different areas, but again it's not spiritually based, so that could be blown away like anything else that they see as a threat. Unless we get that done, I don't know how, but it's all dealing with self. Each individual how to do that at home. Teach as much as we want, but this is a personality. You and your God is one. You and God are one. But listening to these concepts and it's very interesting. I mean, I'm very sorry now that I missed last night.
Me
but
too.
I had something else to do.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah.
Because I just put out a lot of concepts.
Yeah.
And they are all spiritually based. And they all come from African culture and civilization. All of them. I don't know what to do about that, but we talked about concepts of the person. We talked about knowledge as a process and showed Dogon terms that talk about that. We had Yoruba concepts, Akan, ancient Kemetic concepts, and we're showing what that's my work is to retrieve these. Jacob Carruthers calls it African deep thought, and to use them to make them useful. And that's the work. That's the work for us to do. But the wonderful thing is that it's all there. There's so much there. The more you study, the more you see. Sister, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what about the works of Malidoma and Zabompe Some in terms of the Dagara people.
All right.
Or even aside from their works. I'm not sure if you mentioned them in your talk last night.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
There is a quote that I love from Sabonfu, and I tend to use her work more. There certainly is very, very useful information coming out of Dagara. Sabonfu's piece, I love, Welcoming Spirit Home. Have you seen that book?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, it's wonderful, wonderful book. And I can say a little bit about why it's so wonderful, but also her book, The Spirit of Intimacy. I know a lot of people who are very serious thinkers, very committed, who are very impressed with Maladoma's stuff. People close to me. And I know that within his work is a lot of, there are profound things said. One would be surprised at how common those things are in Africa. So it's not like, from my understanding, Maladoma Some is not considered a sage in Africa, and did not undergo particular training for that, and so forth. Which is not to say that he can't talk about, he can't have insights, based on his culture. But the problem that I have, and I think this is good for us to talk about, is we have to see. I don't talk about spirit as being separate from ideological clarity. That's my position, is that everything is political and that we must be clear as Africans, which means that we must have a clear vision of what we want for African people, which has got to be, as Dr. Clarke would call it, African World Revolution, and I would talk about, Kobe Campbell would talk about constructing a Pan African world order. I think that's why we are here. That's why our ancestors suffered what they did and survived so that we could be born. Because that's our job, is to build that world order. So an African person who talks about, profound insights coming from Africa, talks about ritual and so forth, and then doesn't talk about the political issues, or actually, to me, almost betrays them in its discussion, is a problem.